Men over 60. A urologist reveals the one secret oil to rub for boosting your bedroom confidence. Gentlemen, let's talk frankly for a moment. Have you ever felt that frustrating gap between how you want to feel in a moment of intimacy and how your body actually responds? That nagging pressure of feeling like you're rushing towards a finish line you're not ready to cross. Now, most men I talk to in my practice chalk this up to just one thing: getting older. They assume it's simply low testosterone or stress, and that it's an unavoidable part of life. But what if I told you that's not the full story? A fascinating 2023 study in the Journal of Urology, which analyzed over 8,000 men, discovered something shocking. They found that chronic unnoticed muscle tension in the pelvic floor was a 40% stronger predictor of poor stamina and control than age alone. I see this in my own clinic constantly. A patient of mine, a 67-year-old retired engineer named Robert, felt completely defeated by this. He was convinced his best years were behind him. But once we stopped focusing on hormones and instead addressed this hidden tension with a simple, natural method, the change was remarkable. He regained a sense of calm and control he hadn't felt in decades. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, a urologist. Everything I share today is grounded in real biological science, not fads or locker room talk. In this video, I will walk you through 4 powerful natural oils, step by step, and show you exactly how to use them to relax those key muscles, calm those overactive nerves, and rebuild your confidence, starting tonight. All right, let's dive into our first and perhaps most powerful tool. We're going to start with my personal favorite for deep, therapeutic work. It's called castor oil. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Castor oil? Isn't that some old-fashioned remedy my grandmother used to talk about? And you're not wrong. It has a long history. But here is the critical mistake so many people make. They dismiss it as just a simple laxative or a skin treatment, completely unaware that it is a scientific powerhouse for men's pelvic health. They have no idea that this thick, golden oil holds the key to unlocking tension and improving circulation in ways that most modern solutions completely overlook. Simply ignoring it because it seems old-fashioned means you could be missing out on one of the safest, most effective natural tools for restoring control and vitality. And understanding how to use it correctly, well, that's the real secret. So why is castor oil so uniquely effective for this purpose? The magic, the science, is in its chemical structure. Castor oil is made up of almost 90% of a very special fatty acid. It's called ricinoleic acid. Unlike many other oils that just sit on the surface of the skin, ricinoleic acid has a very low molecular weight. That means its particles are incredibly small, allowing them to penetrate deeper through the layers of your skin. They don't just moisturize the surface. They travel down to the deeper tissues, to the muscles and the blood vessels that are at the very core of your performance. Once it reaches the pelvic floor, that hammock of muscles that supports your internal organs, it performs 2 crucial actions. First, it significantly reduces inflammation. Second, and most importantly, it acts as a profound muscle relaxant, calming the chronic subconscious tension that so many men hold in this area. It is this tension that chokes off healthy blood flow and contributes to oversensitive nerves. And please, understand this is not just theory or folk medicine. This is observable science. A comprehensive review published in the International Journal of Toxicology confirmed the powerful anti-inflammatory and circulatory boosting properties of topically applied ricinoleic acid. The studies show that when it's absorbed into the skin, it helps to dilate blood vessels and soften tense muscle tissue, which is absolutely key to restoring healthy, natural function and control. This provides the hard evidence that its benefits go far beyond what you see on the surface. To make this easier to understand, I want you to use an analogy. Think of the muscles of your pelvic floor like a tightly knotted garden hose. When that hose is knotted up, it doesn't matter how much water pressure you have at the source. Only a weak trickle can get through to the nozzle. That knot represents the unconscious tension that builds up over the years from stress, from sitting too long, and from just life itself. This tension physically restricts the powerful blood flow needed for firm, lasting performance. Now think of castor oil as a specialized warming agent that you apply directly to that knot. The ricinoleic acid penetrates the rubber of the hose, making it soft and pliable. It gently works to untie that knot. As the knot releases, the pathway opens up. Suddenly, a powerful, steady stream of water can flow through, freely and effortlessly. That is precisely what castor oil does for your circulation. It doesn't artificially force anything. It simply helps to remove the physical restriction, allowing your body to perform the way it was naturally designed to. So, how do you use this correctly and safely? This is very important because the method matters just as much as the oil itself. First, you want to choose a high-quality, cold-pressed, hexane-free castor oil. You can find this online or at any health food store for around $10 to $15. A single bottle will last you for months. Because the oil is quite thick and viscous, you don't want to apply it cold. Pour a small amount, about the size of a dime, into the palm of your hand. Then rub your hands together briskly for about 15 to 20 seconds. This uses your own body heat to warm the oil, making it feel much more pleasant and dramatically improving its ability to be absorbed. Now you will massage this warm oil onto the perineum. This is the soft, fleshy area of skin located between the base of the scrotum and the anus. Using 2 fingers, apply gentle but firm pressure and massage in slow, circular motions. The goal here is not speed. The goal is relaxation. You should aim to do this for at least 5 minutes. Think of it as a dedicated therapeutic session. This is your time to consciously release the tension in that area. Remember Robert, the 67-year-old retired engineer I mentioned earlier? He was the one who was so sure that his issues were just an irreversible part of aging. When I introduced him to this simple routine, he was skeptical at first, but he committed to it. He later told me he called it his grounding ritual. He found a wonderful synergy. He discovered that if he performed the massage right after a warm shower, when his skin was warm and his pores were open, the effects were even more profound. He said that for the first time in years, he felt a sense of deep warmth and relaxation spreading through his core, followed by a feeling of steady, reliable control that he thought was lost forever. That small tweak, taking a warm shower first, made a world of difference for him, and it could for you, too. If this idea of relaxing these hidden, crucial muscles makes sense to you, and if you're ready to take back control, go to the comment section right now and type the word control. It's a simple way to commit yourself. All right, we've discussed the deep therapeutic worker, which is castor oil. Now, let's move on to our second natural tool, and this is one that many of you probably have sitting in your kitchen pantry right at this very moment. Let's talk about oil number 2, coconut oil, which I like to call the protective cushion. I can almost guarantee that when you see a jar of coconut oil, your mind immediately goes to cooking, or maybe using it as a skin moisturizer for dry hands or elbows. And you're right, it's excellent for those things. But here is the fundamental mistake that causes men to completely miss its unique and powerful benefit for this specific purpose. They see it as a simple surface lubricant, and they fail to understand that its greatest strength is not in what it does deep down, but in how it masterfully works on the surface. Its primary role is to act as a natural buffer. And ignoring this function is like owning a fantastic noise-canceling headphone set, but only ever using it to protect your ears from the rain. You're missing the entire point. So why is coconut oil so perfectly suited to be this protective cushion? The scientific reason is fascinatingly different from that of castor oil. Where castor oil's small molecules are designed to penetrate deeply, Coconut oil's molecules, particularly its medium-chain fatty acids like lauric acid, are larger. They stay much closer to the surface of the skin. When you apply it, it doesn't just vanish. Instead, it forms a gentle, persistent, and incredibly soothing lipid barrier. This barrier does something critically important for men who struggle with overstimulation. It calms hypersensitive nerve endings. I want to be very clear here. It does not numb you. It does not deaden the sensation. It simply softens the sharp, overwhelming signals that can cause your body to react too quickly. It smooths out the experience, giving you the control and the breathing room to slow down. And this isn't just a hopeful theory. Its function as a superior skin barrier is well documented in dermatological science. For example, a 2019 study published in the Journal of Dermatological Science explored how different natural oils affect the skin's outermost layer, the stratum corneum. The research confirmed that the lipid structure of coconut oil makes it an exceptional occlusive agent, meaning it creates a physical barrier that locks in moisture and protects the skin from external irritants. Now think about that. This protective barrier action is precisely what helps to reduce the overstimulation of the delicate nerve endings just beneath the skin. A healthy, hydrated, and protected skin barrier means those nerves are less exposed, less jumpy. As an added benefit, the study also highlighted its natural antibacterial and antifungal properties, which help to keep the sensitive area healthy and free from irritation. To really help you grasp this concept, I want to give you a simple analogy. Imagine you have to sit on a hard, unforgiving wooden chair for a long period of time. Every little shift in your weight creates a sharp point of pressure. It quickly becomes uncomfortable, distracting, and all you can think about is how quickly you can get up and be done with it. The experience is harsh. Now imagine placing a thick, high-quality memory foam cushion on top of that same chair. The chair underneath is still just as hard. The structure hasn't changed, but the cushion absorbs and distributes the pressure. It transforms the sharp, jarring sensations into a feeling of soft, comfortable support. The experience is no longer a race to the finish. It's smooth, pleasant, and you are in complete control of when you decide to get up. Coconut oil is that cushion for your nerves. It doesn't change the fundamental stimulation, but it beautifully softens the experience, allowing you to relax and enjoy the moment without feeling overwhelmed. So how do you use coconut oil correctly for this purpose? First, it's important to choose the right kind. You want to look for virgin, unrefined, or cold-pressed coconut oil. This ensures it hasn't been treated with chemicals and retains all its natural beneficial compounds. When you open the jar, if your home is at a normal room temperature, it will likely be a soft solid. You don't need much at all. Just scoop a small amount, roughly the size of a pea, onto your fingertips. The moment it touches your skin, your natural body heat will cause it to melt into a silky, smooth, and clear liquid. Unlike the deep, intentional massage we used for castor oil, the application here is much gentler. You simply apply the melted oil to the most sensitive areas. The focus is on creating that soothing, protective layer. It's light, it absorbs well without being greasy, and it's an incredibly safe, gentle, all-purpose option, especially if you have sensitive skin. This reminds me of a client of mine, a 58-year-old high school teacher named David. His primary struggle wasn't necessarily related to circulation. It was hypersensitivity. He described it to me perfectly. He said, "Doc, it feels like my body's accelerator is just stuck to the floor. I go from 0 to 100 with no control in between." For him, castor oil wasn't the right first step. We started him with this coconut oil method. He discovered an amazing synergy between the physical and the mental. He found that the simple act of applying the oil became a mental trigger to slow down. The physical buffering from the oil gave his mind the breathing room he needed to stop anticipating the finish line. It allowed his body to relearn what a calmer, more controlled response felt like. This is the perfect starting point for any man who feels that things are just happening. Too much, too soon. It gives you the space to find your own rhythm again. All right, we've covered the deep worker with castor oil and the protective cushion with coconut oil. Our third oil is another incredibly accessible and effective tool, and just like coconut oil, you almost certainly have a bottle of this in your kitchen. Let's move on to oil number 3, extra virgin olive oil, which I call the circulation helper. Now, for decades, we've all been told about the amazing benefits of olive oil. We hear it on the news, we read it in magazines. Olive oil is heart healthy. It's the cornerstone of the celebrated Mediterranean diet. But this is precisely where the big mistake, the missed connection, happens. Most people hear heart healthy, and they think only about their heart. They don't stop to connect the dots. They fail to realize that the very same mechanism that makes olive oil so good for the arteries around your heart is the same mechanism that benefits the arteries and blood vessels everywhere else in your body, especially the small, delicate microvessels that are absolutely critical for men's performance and vitality. What's good for your heart circulation is fantastic for your pelvic circulation. To know this and not use it is to leave one of nature's best tools sitting on the shelf. So why is olive oil such a powerful circulation helper? What's the science here? It comes down to 2 primary factors: powerful antioxidants and healthy monounsaturated fats. Extra virgin olive oil is packed with potent antioxidants, especially a form of vitamin E called alpha tocopherol and a unique compound called oleocanthal. These compounds are warriors. They relentlessly fight against something called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is essentially the rusting of our cells, a process that makes our blood vessels stiff, brittle, and less responsive over time. By neutralizing the free radicals that cause this damage, the antioxidants in olive oil help keep your blood vessels flexible. Flexible, pliable vessels can dilate or open up much more easily, which is the very foundation of strong and reliable blood flow. And this isn't just a nice idea. It is some of the most well-established nutritional science we have. The body of evidence is massive. For example, a landmark study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology in 2019 reviewed the long-term effects of the Mediterranean diet. The researchers consistently found that regular consumption of extra virgin olive oil directly improved what is known as endothelial function. The endothelium is the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels. Its health determines how well your vessels can expand and contract. The study showed that the compounds in olive oil led to a significant improvement in this function, which is a critical biological marker for robust circulatory health and performance. I know terms like endothelial function can sound a bit academic, so let's use a simple analogy to make this crystal clear. I want you to imagine that your blood vessels all throughout your body are like brand new rubber bands. When they're new, they are incredibly elastic. You can stretch them out and they snap right back into shape. They are responsive and resilient. This represents the healthy, flexible blood vessels of your youth. Now, imagine leaving those same rubber bands sitting out in the sun day after day for 20 years. What happens? They become stiff, brittle, and fragile. If you try to stretch them now, they don't expand easily. They might even crack or break. This is what oxidative stress does to your blood vessels over time. It makes them stiff and unresponsive. Now, think of the antioxidants in olive oil as a specialized, protective conditioning treatment for those old rubber bands. Applying this treatment every day protects them from the harsh elements. It helps them regain their elasticity and makes them soft and stretchy again. Olive oil does that for your blood vessel linings. It protects them from damage and helps them stay flexible and responsive, ensuring they can open wide to allow for maximum blood flow whenever it's needed. So how do you use this simple, cost-effective tool? When choosing an oil, always look for extra virgin. This is the highest grade. It means the oil was extracted without high heat or chemical solvents, so it retains the maximum amount of those precious antioxidants. The application method is the same simple and effective technique we've discussed. You can warm a small amount in your palms and massage it into the perineum or along the shaft. The best part? A high-quality bottle of extra virgin olive oil often costs under $15 at any grocery store, and it serves double duty for your health, both in the kitchen and for this specific therapeutic routine. It is, without a doubt, one of the most cost-effective strategies for supporting your vitality. This brings me to a final point, which is about synergy. The client I mentioned earlier, David, the teacher who started with coconut oil, eventually added olive oil to his routine. He found that combining this topical application with an inside-out approach was a game changer. He started replacing other fats in his diet with extra virgin olive oil. He'd drizzle it on his salads, use it for light cooking. He told me he felt a noticeable difference in his overall energy and vitality. It makes perfect sense. You're supporting your vascular health from both the outside in and the inside out. It's a small tweak, but it creates a powerful, holistic synergy. It's a simple, affordable strategy that can make a profound difference. If you appreciate simple, practical, and affordable solutions like this, do me a favor. Go to the comment section right now and just type the word simple. We've covered the deep worker, the protective cushion, and the circulation helper. Now, for our fourth and final oil, we're going to address the nervous system directly. If castor oil is for the muscles and olive oil is for the blood vessels, this next one is for the nerves. Finally, let's talk about what I call the oil of calm, almond oil. Now, when most people think of almond oil, they typically picture a very light, pleasant-smelling massage oil used for general relaxation in a spa setting. And because it feels so light and simple, they make a critical mistake. It's often dismissed as just a nice massage oil, without any real therapeutic punch. People overlook it because it doesn't seem as medicinal as something like castor oil. But this mistake causes them to miss its most powerful secret. Its true strength lies not in its texture, but in its nutritional profile. That profile makes it a highly targeted tool for calming and regulating nerve function. To see it as just a simple moisturizer is to completely misunderstand its true purpose. So, why is almond oil the calming comforter? The scientific answer is incredibly elegant and centers on two key nutrients that it delivers directly to the skin. It's rich in the same antioxidant vitamin E that we found in olive oil, but more importantly, it is a fantastic source of magnesium. In the world of biochemistry, magnesium is famously known as nature's relaxation mineral. It is an electrolyte that plays a profoundly critical role in the healthy function of our nervous system. Specifically, it helps to regulate neurotransmitters, which are the chemical messengers that send signals between your brain and your body. When you don't have enough magnesium, your nerve cells can become overly excitable. They get stuck in the on position. Almond oil, when applied topically, delivers this essential mineral directly to the local nerve endings, helping to quiet down those hypersensitive, hair-trigger nerves that fire too quickly. And the science on magnesium's role in the nervous system is not new or controversial. It is fundamental biology. We have extensive decades of research confirming magnesium's vital role in regulating nerve signals and reducing neuromuscular excitability. For instance, a major scientific review published in the journal Nutrients in 2020 detailed precisely how magnesium ions interact with nerve cell receptors, like the NMDA receptor, to prevent them from becoming overstimulated. The study called it a fundamental physiological neuroprotector. While much of the research focuses on oral intake, applying magnesium-rich oil topically allows for targeted, localized benefits, delivering this calming mineral right where you need it most, without having to go through the entire digestive system. To help you truly understand what's happening at a nervous system level, I want you to use a very specific analogy. Think of your overactive nerve endings like a highly sensitive car alarm from the 1990s. You know the kind. The slightest touch, a leaf falling on the hood, a gust of wind, a cat brushing up against the tire, and the alarm goes off. wailing loudly, creating a sense of panic and urgency for no good reason. It's not broken. It's just calibrated to be far too sensitive. The threshold for what sets it off is simply too low. This is exactly what happens with hypersensitive nerve endings. Now think of the magnesium in almond oil as a master technician who comes to gently recalibrate that alarm system. The technician doesn't cut the wires. He doesn't disable the alarm. He simply adjusts the sensitivity dial. He raises the threshold. Now the falling leaf and the gust of wind do nothing. The alarm remains quiet, calm, and ready. But when a real, significant event happens, it still works perfectly. It goes off exactly when it's supposed to. Almond oil helps to do that for your nerves. It doesn't numb them. It recalibrates them, bringing a sense of calm and balance so they only fire with the right amount of stimulation. So how do you best use this oil of calm? The great thing about almond oil is its texture. You'll want to look for sweet almond oil, which is the kind best suited for skin application. It is incredibly light and silky, and it absorbs into the skin very quickly without leaving a heavy, greasy residue. This makes it extremely comfortable to use. The application is simple. Just like the others, warm a dime-sized amount in your palms. Its light texture makes it perfect for a gentle, relaxing massage on any sensitive areas. Because its primary goal is to calm the nerves, the state of mind you bring to the massage is key. This isn't a deep tissue, muscle-focused massage like with castor oil. This is a slow, soothing, and intentional application. The goal is to create a sense of peace, and this leads to a powerful synergy that many of my patients have reported back to me. One gentleman, a 62-year-old accountant named Mark, was a classic case of being in his head. He was an overthinker, and his anxiety was a huge contributor to his issues. When he started using almond oil, he discovered that the simple 5-minute act of the massage itself became a form of meditation. It was a ritual that forced him to get out of his anxious mind and into his physical body. He told me, "Doctor, I don't know what's more powerful, the oil itself or the calm state of mind the ritual puts me in." The truth is, it's both. The simple act of massaging with this calming oil creates a mental state of relaxation that is just as powerful as its direct physical effects on the nerves. It's a perfect fusion of mind and body, so there you have it. 4 powerful, natural, and science-backed tools to help you regain control and confidence. We've talked about castor oil, the deep worker for relaxing pelvic tension, coconut oil, the protective cushion for calming hypersensitivity, olive oil, the circulation helper for keeping blood vessels flexible, and finally, almond oil, the calming comforter for soothing the nervous system. But listening to this and learning is only the first step. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here is your simple 3-step action plan for this week, my doctor's orders, if you will. First, I want you to pick just one of these oils. Don't try to do everything at once. Choose the one that you feel speaks most directly to what you're experiencing. Second, set aside just 5 minutes 3 times this week to practice the massage ritual we discussed. You can put a reminder on your phone or just link it to a habit you already have, like showering. And third, and this is the most important part, for these 5 minutes, don't focus on performance. Don't focus on an outcome. Just focus on the physical sensation of calm and of control. That is the entire goal. Now, I know exactly what some of you might be thinking. "Doc, this sounds a little strange," or "Can 5 minutes of rubbing oil really make a difference?" And my answer is absolutely yes. Remember, this is about using safe, natural ingredients to support your body's own incredible systems. It is a far safer and more sustainable path than simply rushing for a pill to mask the symptoms. Real, lasting change doesn't come from a single, giant leap. It comes from these small, consistent, intelligent steps repeated over time. Trust the process, because this simple 5-minute ritual, it's more than just a technique. It's an act of taking back control. It's a statement that you refuse to accept decline as inevitable. It's about restoring not just function, but confidence and connection. The man you will be a month from now, a year from now, is counting on the choice you make today. So if you are ready to make that commitment to yourself, I invite you to join our community on this journey. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss our future science-backed guides. And more importantly, go to the comments section below and write 2 simple words. Day 1. This isn't for me. This is your public declaration to yourself that today is the day you start. Thank you for investing your valuable time with me. In my next video, we'll be discussing the 3 common breakfast foods that could be quietly harming your vitality every single morning. You will not want to miss that one. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, reminding you that your best years are not behind you. Stay strong.